Deanna, will you please tell me a little bit about yourself and your business?
Business owner and a mom, and I sing in the symphony, and I had just been in business for 12 years, and we're in the process of moving into a new building, which is pretty exciting. I don't know. When we started Edge, because we saw a lack of, there was just not a whole, and now since then there's been other competition that's come into the market. But when we first started, there was one other marketing agency. They did, a lot of political stuff, larger accounts. That was pretty much the only other game in town. And so
Right.
Lori and Kelly and I, we worked at the IR, and we found a lot of people were using, especially small businesses and nonprofits, were using the newspaper as a marketing agency.
Right.
And that's a terrible idea. And not to knock them or anything. It's just not their core competency. It's just not what they do. The three of us decided that we were just gonna go and do our own thing and be a solution in the market, and really try to focus on being able to get really good branding services for small businesses and nonprofits, and kind of start there. Since then, one of the partners has bought out, Kelly bought out, and then it was just me and Lori for a little while, and then a third partner came back in, of the male persuasion, and he brought along with him a software development background, and so a whole slew of services were added to our core competencies through him. We did some software development before in terms of, website administration and things like that, but he's kind of taken it to a whole new level and is doing, online, progressive web applications and things like that for people to actually be running their business on, and not just using as a marketing tool.
Right.
So we've kind of we've expanded and do a lot of things. So really we kind of do everything now. It's a lot. And it's one of those things we kind of learned had to eat our own lunch a little bit on that one, because our name is Edge Marketing and Design. And now I tell people too, don't name your business like that, because it basically paints you into a corner. And I wish I could have given myself that advice 12 years ago, because then I would have just said, call it Edge. Don't put marketing and design on there. The rest of the brand will figure that out.
Right.
Because now it's, So it's Edge Marketing, Design, and Software Development.
Well, that's good. Think about how far you've come in 12 years, though, really.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm just thankful to be here after 12 years in the first place. But yeah, having 12 years in solid and being able to offer a service, and in Helena, not a whole lot of people do software development.
Right.
So having still, even though we have competition on the marketing side of things, still having something that we're one of the only people in town that do it has really been good for us.
Why is Women's History Month important to you personally and maybe professionally too?
So I had to think about this one, because, and I think that the fact that I've never thought about how much that it was important is exactly why it does mean something. Because in my professional career, not once did it ever even occur to me that something was going to be more difficult or take longer because I'm female. Not one time.
Didn't think. That's awesome.
No, it just never even popped into my brain. And really that's because of all of those women that have come before us, and that, we take the time to remember and be grateful for everything that they did. So, when it was time for me to start my own business, I never thought for a second that it was going to be harder or impossible because of my gender.
Great. And then what advice do you have for young women who might want to step into, a business ownership and entrepreneurship role?
I think smart but reckless optimism.
Ooh.
Just like, if you want to do something, go do it. Work your tail off. The number of, it's involved. If you want to do something, you have to put in extra hours. You need to, put in all of the hours. You need to do whatever you need to do to make whatever you want happen, and personal life, me time, be damned, because that's really what it comes down to is, and even 12 years in, and now granted, I do have 2 kids too, but the business is like, and not saying that me time isn't valuable, self-care is good, it's not that. But when you're when you have a goal and you have a thing that you want to do, you just dump everything that you can into it. Me time can come. It's good. And every once in a while, even I'll take a day and chill for a second, but not usually. Usually it's right. I'm so focused on whatever my goal is. It's okay, it's all I can think about. It's all I want to do. And as far as I'm concerned, that is my me time,
right.
Because
right. And if it's something you love, you don't hate doing it. It's not a burden.
No, it's not. And so it's just, and every, even if I do take a minute, okay, I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm going to go to Chico or something and hang out for the weekend and just chill. Really what I spend the whole time doing is thinking about all of the things that need to be done and how I'm going to do it and strategizing. Or if I'm just doing it at home, a lot of times I feel guilty because I'm not working on all of the things, and I don't even enjoy my downtime because all I can think about is all of the things that I could be doing right now that are going to get me closer to whatever my goal is. And I've always got a goal. It could be a short one, it could be a long one, but I've always got something going on. I've always got something that I'm working towards. And as long as I'm working on that, I guess I just kind of consider that my me time.
Yes. What achievement made by a woman in history are you most grateful for?
I thought about that one too, and I don't really know. I think it all kind of got set off with our right to vote.
Right.
As soon as we got the ability to do that, just in general, our voices meant something. As soon as we got to as soon as we were allowed to have an opinion, we got allowed to have an opinion everywhere.